Hello, everybody. I'm Susan Holt. Welcome to Chaos and Order Art by Susan Holt. Yay! I'm gonna wait a little bit until people start showing up. I did pop on just a tiny bit earlier than I usually do. Make sure my glasses are okay. It looks like Ira's here. Hi, Ira. Thank you for the thumbs up. Um, as usual, if for some reason I am looking at what I'm doing because today is about studio time, I will go back afterwards and check the comments and reply to all of your comments then. And yes, we'll get it going. We'll get it going. Looks like Hamali is here. Chris is here. Did I see Joe Claire there? Saw somebody else. Ooh, I like all the hearts and all the thumbs up. Hi, everybody. Yes, hi, Joe Claire. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, Hamali. Thank you all for joining me. So today I am going to do some studio time with you. I'm working on kind of a different super secret-ish project. So that'll be fun to show you and fun to create a little bit more on it with you. And I'll show you some paintings that I have finished recently. They're the ones that are popping up today as for sale. And I want to remind you, hi Tony, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. I want to remind you today that today is the last day. If you're going to purchase anything, midnight is the deadline to let me know you are interested in something. Midnight Mountain Standard Time, that is. Because the sale price ends at midnight. So that is what's going on there. So while we're waiting for a couple other people to show up, I wanted to just show you real quick. I was rummaging around this morning. I found my old portfolio case and wanted to show you a couple more real quick student pieces. So this was from Life Drawing class, and that's just white pencil on black paper. So this was a really fun model. I really liked her. So there's that one. And then this one is a still life from, let's see the date, 2001, when I took a colored drawing class. So this is, the gray tone is the paper, and then everything else is colored pencil. Started with a blank piece of paper, just like on the back. Drew it all out by hand. So yeah, I like this piece. Pretty fun. Oh, and I was going to show you. Did you catch the offset on the knife in the glass? Oh yeah. I totally caught that. Get a little excited about doing art. Chris says, I always like the colors of the towel. It looks so real. Oh, thanks, babe. I call Chris babe because he's my husband. He's got no choice but to answer to that. So again, hi Janice, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Again, the person named Chris Kurtz who is on here commenting back to you and posting some more information for you is my husband, so he actually does know what he's talking about. So if he comments back to you, don't just blow him off like he's some weird guy. Well, he is weird, but he's my guy. Hi, Tony. Thanks for joining me today. She says, skills, love it. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I'm doing. Again, if I miss a comment or if Chris misses a comment, then I will go back through this later and I will rewatch it and I will get back to your comments. I will try to keep an eye on it, but if I'm looking down, sometimes I don't do the best job of catching them as they fly by. So here's the piece I'm working on currently. This is the top. This is the bottom. And if I tip it up, it'll catch the light. Because this piece is cast in resin. It's got different layers. The first layer is, of course, the paint. The second layer is some deeply embedded glitter because I took some inspiration from my commission piece from Cindy. Molly says, "Ooh, this is exciting. It looks gorgeous." Thank you so much, Molly. Then I put on some little seashells. This seashell actually has a watch spring in the middle of it, so it gives it some gold tones in the center of this painting. Then there's some little pearls and some seed beads and all sorts of other stuff. And then I built up a couple of layers of the resin, and then I did that again, then put another layer of resin on, and then I painted these little white dots, my usual white dots, my little spiral that I like to do. So we are going to pour more resin on top of this today to seal in the white dots so that they can't get scratched off. Oh, hi Janice, thanks for joining me today. She says idea. I don't know what the idea is, but I'm glad you had an idea. Okay, so I need to mix my resin, and this, I'm going to move this up here a little bit out of the way. There we go. And cup. This is some what's called small pour resin. Oh, Janice's idea was a typo. You know, we all make them. I am not mad at that. So this is small pour resin that I just got at the craft store. And the reason I use small pour resin is because I usually work on jewelry. And when I pour on jewelry, it is a small pour, i.e. a small piece. Large pour resin is for large pieces. My friend Robert does large scale pieces in resin, and his stuff is absolutely amazing, but he uses large pour resin so that he can have proper mixing and curing on his pieces. And I use small pour resin for the same reason. I did mean to come in and open these before I got to the live today, but I needed to take the dog out and take a potty break, so I didn't quite get to it. So you get to see the most fascinating part of opening the plastic seals. All right, there we go. Okay. Do you have to use a mask or respirator? Not with this stuff. Oh yes, I was totally distracted by the puppy bowl. No, I mean, I probably should wear a mask or respirator, but I don't. I don't pour resin often enough that it's really gonna upset my system. And this stuff isn't quite as toxic as the large pour stuff. And in my life, I have breathed things that are so much worse than this. Art making, and I used to work for a company that did heat treating of metal. And although I didn't spend a whole lot of time out with the guys in the heat treat shop, I was inside. You know, some of the fumes would blow in when we had the doors open on a nice day. So stuff happens in life. Luckily, I don't have any ill effects from that. I have two separate measuring cups since I am doing multiple layers on this piece. I have my Part A cup and my Part B cup. The first cup is for what does it say on there? It doesn't say on there. The first part is Part A, the second part is Part B. Part B is the part that makes everything react and come together. Chris and I took a resin class a few years ago at one of the art supply stores. He probably remembers all the words, all the technical stuff about it. He is the guy that when I came home from class in college, I was a returning adult going back to college, that I would tell him all of the science behind everything, and he would ask me all the questions about the science behind everything. He likes that stuff. I like it enough to know it for an exam, but I don't tend to store that kind of thing in my brain for very long. And since I graduated in 2005, it's been a while. So if you ever wanted to play with resin, if you have an art supply store that gives classes on different things near your home, I would say absolutely take that class. Now, I used to set a timer to mix my resin, but it takes about 2 minutes. So does anybody have a question for me while I sit here and mix this resin? I don't have any prepared. Nobody messaged me any questions yesterday. Hamali says, I love the white dots on the dark blue area. Looks like a vortex. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was going for. I was thinking of putting the little finial end designs on it. Hi, Larry. Thanks for joining me. Larry says it looks nice. Thank you. Chris says, Janice wanted to know, I can't see the white, what the blue in the middle was. The blue in the middle is paint. So everything that looks like it has flowed together, that does not look like a seashell or a pearl or glitter, is actually paint. I did a pour painting first, let that set up and cure, and then I glued some stuff down. Glued down my seashells and some pearls, and I poured resin on top of that. Did a couple coats of resin on top of that. And then I put some more glitter and pearls and seed beads on top of that because I wanted it to look layered. You know how when you look into something that's water, like a wave in the ocean, and it's really clear day, clear ocean, and it pulls stuff up in the water and you can see that stuff in the water casting a shadow. That's the effect I wanted. I wanted stuff on the bottom that didn't cast a shadow, and I wanted stuff up above it that did. So that is what I made by using all of my little layers. And the center of that is actually blue mixed with black. I wanted it to look really deep. If you look at some of the Google Earth photos of atolls, they have that really deep center that's very, very dark. Also, one of the blues, the mid-tone blues I used, is actually a metallic, so it kind of has its own shimmer. And then the white or cream around the edge is another pearlescent paint as well. So it has its own shimmer. Wanted to make sure it looked shimmery enough. Janice asked, is the brown also paint? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Everything that is not a seashell or pearl or seed bead is paint. Hi, Tom. Thanks for joining me. Tom says, so fun, looking good. Great contrast with the white. I've done a few resin art projects. I have a huge floor resin pour I'm doing soon. Oh, fantastic. That'd be fun to watch. Are you going to set up a camera so we can see that? Joe Claire says this is going to be so interactive when done. So much to look at. Yes, absolutely so much to look at. So I do have a good portion of little tiny bubbles in here, so I'm going to bang it on the table. So if that's loud, I apologize. Hi, Jennifer. She says it's looking amazing. Thank you. I know with my table, if I have it set up this direction, it's relatively level. Okay, Tom says no camera work yet. Okay. All right. That got out a little bit of the bubbles. And these dots of paint, the white, are dry, and they will tone down and look a little bit softer and not so harsh once the resin gets on them. I will likely have to mix another batch of resin and pour more on top of this to get it to go all the way to the edges. That's what I've been having to do. And I don't mind the bubbles in this piece. A lot of times I'll try really hard to get the bubbles out. But since this is a water-inspired piece, a lot of them will come up on their own, up to the surface, since I'm pouring so thin. As I do this with my little tongue depressor here, my little popsicle stick. I can hear some of the bubbles popping. It's kind of like really tiny cereal. Ooh, or if you've ever had termites in your house and you hear them kind of going, it sounds kind of like that. We had termites in our old house. Luckily, they were not the really horrible kind. They were, there's kind of a wet kind of termite and a dry kind of a termite, and we had the dry kind, and they were pretty easy for our remediation team to get rid of. And I'm being really, really careful to not scrape my popsicle stick on the actual surface of the paint, just on the resin. I don't want to scrape off my paint. I just want to move the bubbles. Crush the bubbles. Crush them. I know I've missed some comments. If Chris has not already answered them, I will go back and answer them after this. So yes, I have to mix up some more, and that's fine. I find that mixing resin is very, it's kind of very zen. Yes, I am using a different product than we had in class. This will start to set in 2 hours. So, you know, I'll be able to touch the surface in 2 hours. But it will have to cure over the next several days. So even though it may feel like it's set hard, nope, that's got paint in it. Like it's set hard, it will not be until 3 days later. Okay. So all of my cups have, all my disposable cups have paint in them. So I'm going to use this one. I'm still going to use my little measuring cups that I have so that I get the right amount. Yes, Joan, you can pour over the first layer pretty quickly. The other day, I was kind of falling behind on this project. So I did a pour in the morning, and then I did another pour in the afternoon, evening. Oh, and Joe Claire had a question that I completely missed. Molly says, love this. Jennifer says, I have a feeling we need more ice cream. Yes. We need more paint containers and resin mixing tubs. So as you all know, Jennifer is my bestie. We have our Tuesday night bestie time, and we go out. We have this local little custard place that's just around the corner from my house. So we go up there and have some frozen custard every week. We bring some back for Chris. But it's nice to have time with your best friend. I honestly don't know where I would be without her. Or my husband, but for very different reasons. Love you too, Jennifer. So I want to remind everybody while I'm doing this stuff that this is the last live of this event, the Heart the Art Valentine's event. And the cart for the sale for this event closes at midnight tonight. So if there's anything that you saw that you have to have that would make you or your sweetie happy, or your best friend, or someone else in your life that likes art. Oh, you know what? That's what I wanted to tell you guys today. Chris and I were listening to a podcast last night. He listens to one called Freakonomics, and they have a 3-part series on the art market, which is fascinating. And they had an economist, a professor of economy specializing in art that was on. Magnus something or other, Resch, I think. And he was saying that 200 years ago, people had 20 to 30 original artist rendered pieces of art in their homes. And today, that number has fallen dramatically with people buying from big box stores. So I thought that was a very interesting insight. And I know some of you here are into history. So if you like something you see from an artist, you can just say that you're keeping up with the times, keeping up with the past. Supporting local artists. I love supporting local artists. We can't afford paintings that are multiple hundreds or thousands of dollars, but we can afford a little bit. And I know what our budget is, so luckily my husband trusts my taste when it comes to art and things, so I'll buy something every now and again. Gives me that hit of dopamine. So every time I look at our gallery wall that we have here at the house, I think of artists that have made those pieces, and most of them I like very much. So a good majority of them are our friends. So every time I look at them, I feel love and friendship and calm and peace and joy. So if you are like me and enjoy looking at art, go ahead and give me a bunch of hearts. Since this is the Heart the Art Valentine's event, go ahead and push the heart button a bunch of times down there at the bottom of your screen. Let me know you like art. Awesome. Awesome. I love that. Thank you guys so much for those hearts and likes. I actually like art so much that I used to be a docent at the Phoenix Art Museum. Oh, Jennifer says, same when I look at your art on my walls. Well, thank you. That's very nice. That's very kind. I appreciate knowing that. Thank you. Okay. All right. So this started out as a painted chalkboard type piece, and our neighbor behind us was having a garage sale, and his daughter gave it to me and said, "You're an artist, here, do something cool with it." So I did. I think this is pretty cool. What do you guys think so far? I was talking to Joe Claire, hi Joe Claire, the other day, and we were talking about being children of the 1970s. And I was wondering, what decade was everybody else born in that's on here? Because we were talking about the colors and sayings and TV shows that have come and gone a million years ago. And she quipped back with a one-word quote from one of the characters that she likes on one of the shows she likes. And I said, I really want to use the word Shazbot. So she dared me to say it during one of my lives. So there you go, Joe Claire, Shazbot. Just for you. All right. Yay. So my tall seashells are almost covered. I may have to do one more pour over the top of this again, but I'm going to let this layer set because I want to look at it and see if I want to do anything else with it before I move on to the next layer or two. There's a guy that makes really super thin layers of resin, and then he paints in between them, and he paints like rocks and koi fish. I don't remember his name, but he's fascinating to watch. And by the time he gets all those layers of paint and resin cured, it looks like he's got a little tiny koi pond. He does it in bowls and crockery and planters and stuff. It's Just super cool. Okay. Get all this off my hands. Jennifer says nanu nanu. Thank you. Jo Claire said she was going to use the word Shazbot if I didn't. Excellent. All right, so we'll leave that to cure. Then I'm going to turn this camera up again. Hello. All right, push that back. And there's a few pieces. There's 5 pieces that I want to show you today as well. I've been showing you 5 pieces. Each of them will come up on my news feed with their price and stuff, but Chris is going to type in their size and their price and their title and all that kind of good stuff for you here as I'm chit-chatting about them, and then we will head out for the day. I hope everybody is going to enjoy the the Super Bowl. Jo Claire says no Shazbot with this piece. It's dynamite. Thank you, my dear. Okay, our first piece is going to be Echeveria. And an Echeveria is a succulent. Most people will know it as hens and chicks. So here's this one. That's beautiful, kind of deep sagey, succulent-y green on it. And get my notes over here. This one is 12 by 12, and the sale price is $3.57. The regular price is $4.20, and that both of those include shipping in the US. There we go. I think that one's super pretty. My mom used to have a succulent garden at one of our houses when I was little, and I loved the hens and chicks. So when this piece turned out this way, I knew exactly what I wanted to call it. The next piece you guys are going to recognize, it's Darjeeling. And Darjeeling was one of our monthly paintings. I wanted to show you again because I love this piece. I cannot get enough of it. So this one is 20 by 24. The sales price is $1,233. The regular price is $1,450. Free shipping in the US as well. And there are better pictures of these posted on the group. May have to scroll back and find them a little bit from today. I know I've got a couple that are posting after this. The next piece is Chantilly Lace. Okay, here we go, Chantilly Lace. I named it this because the black background with the pink felt really feminine, and then I put a lot of white across the top. I have several friends who are actually lace makers, and it reminded me of some of the pieces that they create. But this is 16 by 20. The sale price is $680. The regular price is $800. Both of those include free shipping in the US. If you are outside the US, then we can do shipping and customs separate. All right. The next piece is The Light That Guides You. Kind of weird getting a good angle here. But this one is $910. It is 20 by 20. Regular price is $1,070. Free shipping in the US. But I think this one is a lot like a firecracker or a starburst or an explosion. It's just got a whole bunch of movement in the background there. And on this design right here, I also put a little black dot in the center of each of these four. There we go. Because I thought that would give it some drama. Not like the rest of it doesn't have any drama. Oh, Chris says that he likes this one a lot. It looks like an exploding starscape. Ooh, fancy. All right, and the last piece I wanted to show you today is Spring Snow. This is one of the biggest ones I've done. So it is 24 by 36. Sale price is $2,023. Regular price is $23,000, $23.50. That includes shipping in the US. There we go. That's sideways. I don't think I can back up enough to show you the whole thing. This way. Maybe I can. There we go. And this one reminds me of the spring days when I used to live in Colorado and I'd go skiing and the snow, yeah, Susan, for scale, exactly. And the snow was just kind of getting super slushy. You go down the mountain and instead of you go kind of go smush, smush. So those are the paintings I wanted to show you today. I do want to remind you that this Wednesday is Wednesday Wednesday, and we will be picking a title for this lovely little piece. This is our monthly painting for February. So Hamali says, love the details on the end of the spirals in this one. I think she means the light that guides you, which was the piece I just showed before this. So yes, this one we will discuss a title. Ooh, I lost the word for a second there. That's what happens when you get a little older. So yes, join me Wednesday for that. At 2 p.m. on Wednesday, I will post the poll that says, here are the titles that I have selected for this piece. You can vote for one of those, or you can add your own, either way, and then everybody else can kind of vote for them. Voting for that will stop at 5, since I'm going live at 6 Mountain Standard Time, of course. That's where I live. Jo Claire says, they're all fantastic and so unique. Thank you so much, Jo Claire. So I think that's it. I do have another event coming up. It's going to be in a couple months. I will choose dates and let you know very soon, so stay tuned for details on that. And I want to thank you all so much for being here today. You are absolutely awesome and amazing. Thank you for all the comments, all the hearts, all the likes. You've really made my day today. This is better than any Super Bowl for me. So if you are rooting for one of the teams, whichever team it is, I hope your team wins. I will be watching the Puppy Bowl because of the cuteness, of course. And that's it. Thank you for joining me, Susan Holt, here on Chaos and Order, art by Susan Holt. And I will see you at Wednesday Live. Have a great week, everybody. Bye. Thanks, Molly. Bye.